Hello, children. I am Dr. Mini Dhawan, and today I have brought a new topic, that is Indian monsoon, from Class 9 Geography book, Chapter 4, Climate. Now, Indian monsoons, as you know, they are very uncertain. India is strongly influenced by monsoon winds. The monsoon which we experience in the tropical area, roughly between 20 degree north and 20 degrees south of equator. To understand this monsoon mechanism, it is important to keep certain facts in mind. First, the difference in heating and cooling of land and water. Land gets heated faster and it results in creation of low pressure on the Indian mainland. The sea at the same time experiences high pressure conditions. And as you know, that air moves from high pressure to low pressure. So this air from Indian Ocean, it moves towards the Indian mainland, and as Indian mainland is experiencing low pressure. So next is intertropical convergence zone. It is also called ITCZ. ITCZ is a broad trough of low pressure in equatorial latitudes in summer over the northern plains. It is also known as monsoon trough. It is a broad trough of low pressure in equatorial latitudes. It means from 5 degree north of equator to 5 degrees south of equator. It means that from north to south, the movement of sun, actually sun doesn't move, but the light moves. As you know, that northern hemisphere, it is tilted towards the sun in summers, and southern hemisphere, it is far away from sun. So that time, actually, Tropic of Cancer, it works as a virtual equator, and pressure conditions are working at that particular place. So intertropical convergence zone, so in between the two tropics, the convergence zone means they meet in a line or at a point. Wind moves from high pressure to low pressure. Low pressure, where it will be formed? It will be formed where the land will heat up. Land, where it will be heating up? The place which will be closer to sun. In this case, it is Tropic of Cancer. From northern side, wind will come towards the Cancer, and from the southern side also, wind is going to come towards the Cancer. So what is going to happen? The wind is going to meet out there, and the land which will be heated, it will cause wind also to be heated. Wind, as it will be hot air, it will be rising up. This is a basic phenomena. If wind is, or if air, it heats up, it goes higher, it rises higher, and when it rises higher, it will be condensed and it will bring rain. So ITCZ, it brings rain, cyclones, floods. It is also called doldrums by the sailors. Now next is presence of high pressure area east of Madagascar. Now, Madagascar are the islands which are situated on the southeastern side of Africa. They are the fourth largest islands of the world, and there high pressure is formed on the east or on the right side of Madagascar, and from there, the wind, it starts moving towards the low pressure area. So when wind starts moving towards a low pressure area, it crosses the equator, and due to the Coriolis force, as we have discussed earlier, that Coriolis force, it tends to move the air, it tends to deflect the air to the right side if when the wind crosses the equator. So here wind, after crossing the equator, it turns towards it right, it deflects and it goes towards the Indian mainland. And what happens, that whole of the moisture is shed in the Indian mainland. And next is what happens, there is a plateau, the highest plateau of the world, the Tibetan plateau, it gets intensely heated up. So it is around 9 kilometer above the sea level, and vertical air current formation is there, and pressure is formed out there. So again, the wind starts moving towards the direction of Tibetan plateau, and in between what comes? Himalayas. And Himalayas, they do not let this wind go past India, so whole of the moisture again is shed in India. So this is also the very reason. Then the movement of westerly jet streams. As we have discussed earlier, the jet streams, they are the wind, very fast flowing wind coming from the western direction, and they are moving from the north of Himalayas. North of Himalayas means from the Chinese side. They are moving past that area, and easterly tropical jet streams, they are coming and passing India around 14 degree around, they are passing through India. And this is also responsible for the westerly jet streams and tropical jet streams. They are also responsible for the monsoon winds. Now, apart from these factors, we have seen the changes in the pressure conditions over southern ocean. They also affect the monsoons. Generally, when South Pacific Ocean, it experiences high pressure, and Indian Ocean, South Indian Ocean, it experiences low pressure, then wind will of course move from high pressure to low pressure. It is going to come to Indian side. And sometimes it's a reversal of the wind, reversal of the pressure conditions. What happens? That Indian Ocean, it experiences high pressure, and then at that time Pacific Ocean, it experiences low pressure. So it is basically the reversal of pressure conditions. When South Pacific Ocean, the pressure conditions there are if low, then in Indian Ocean it will be relatively high pressure. So this periodic change in pressure condition, that is known as southern oscillation, or SO. So now one more phenomena is related to SO, that is El Nino. So we call it ENSO, ENSO, that is El Nino Southern Oscillation. The difference in pressure over Tahiti and Darwin. Darwin is in northern Australia. So the difference in the pressure condition, it is computed to predict the intensity of the monsoon. If the pressure differences are negative, it would mean below average and late monsoons. The El Nino phenomena is a feature which is connected with southern oscillation, and literal meaning of this is it's a Spanish word which means baby Christ. And why it is called baby Christ? Because it reaches on the coast of Australia at the time of 25th December. So the name has been given baby Christ or El Nino. So this warm ocean current actually starts from the coast of Peru. Peru, again, it's a country on the west coast of South America. So from there it starts and it moves towards Australia, and it reaches Australia at the time near about 25th of December. And it as it is a warm ocean current, it brings lot of heat to the Australian coast. So it increases the already hot summer season in Australia. As we know, Australia falls in southern hemisphere, and in southern hemisphere summers are there at the time of December. So this occurs at every 2 to 5 years. This occurs at the interval of 2 to 5 years. The changes in pressure conditions are connected to El Nino. Hence the phenomena is referred to as ENSO. Now, if we will talk about the onset of monsoon and withdrawal. See, monsoon, it is known for its uncertainties. There is an alteration of dry and wet spells which vary in intensity, frequency and duration. We have seen that it causes heavy floods in one parts, and it may be responsible for drought in other parts. Its irregular intervals and retreat, sometimes due to the effect of El Nino, causes disruption of farming schedules and causes a drought in certain areas of the country. Now, the monsoon winds, they are pulsating in nature, means they keep on expanding and they keep on contracting, means throbbing. They are affected by different atmospheric conditions encountered by it on its way over the warm tropical area. Starting from early June, it reaches to the coast of Kerala of the Indian peninsula. The monsoon, it lasts for 100 to 120 days, withdrawing by mid of September. So rainfall increases suddenly and continues for several days at a time at the arrival of monsoon, and this phenomena is called the burst of monsoon. It is different from pre-monsoon showers. Afterwards, it alternates with wet and dry spells known as break. So there is a break of monsoon and there is a burst of monsoon. So if we talk about arrival of monsoon in India, by first week I have told you that it reaches the coast of Kerala. After touching the southern tip, it branches into two parts. One branch, it goes towards Arabian Sea and it is called Arabian Sea branch, and the another one, it goes towards the Bay of Bengal and it is known by the Bay of Bengal branch. The Arabian Sea branch, it reaches Mumbai in the second week of June. The Bay of Bengal branch arrives in Assam in first week of June and it gets deflected towards the west because of the mountain ranges, Himalayas. So thus they get deflected, they turn to their left, and towards the left means northern plains, the Gangetic plains. So basic reason of deflection is Himalayas. Now by mid June, around 10th, the monsoon strikes the central part of the country, also Saurashtra and Kutch region. So they are also covered by the monsoon winds. And both the branches, they again merge. They again merge over the northwestern part of Ganga plain or Ganges plain. So Delhi receives rainfall from Bay of Bengal branch by the end of June, and by the first week of July, monsoon covers western Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, eastern Rajasthan, and all. And if we talk about withdrawal of monsoon, withdrawal or the retreat of the monsoon is a more gradual process. The process, it begins by early September in northwestern parts, and by mid October it withdraws completely from northern half of the peninsula. After that, by the first week of December, the withdrawal from the southern half of the peninsula is very fast. See, onset and withdrawal of monsoon in islands is little different. See, islands, they receive first monsoon shower because they are in the south of India. So they receive the first monsoon showers from the last week of April to the first week of May, and the withdrawal takes place very fastly, very progressively from north to south in reverse direction. From the first week of December to the first week of January, it happens, and by this time, the rest of the country, it is already under the influence of winter monsoon. So today we learnt about the arrival and withdrawal of monsoon. Rest I'll take up in my next video. Till then, keep learning, keep revising. Good luck.